Everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know I've been away, I think it was about 9 months since my last upload, but I started playing Chaotic again, so I thought I'd start making YouTube content again. And there's been a Chaotic tournament, the February tournament that I decided to enter, and this is the first round of that tournament. And for the format, it's a standard tournament, as I think I usually post standard tournament games, and it's the format I enjoy the most, with the constantly changing ban list. It's fun. I find there's always new stuff to try out, new stuff to play. So I joined the tournament and it ended up being a best of three double elimination tournament. So how it works is you just have one deck, you enter with one deck, and for every matchup, it's a best of three. So if you win two, you move on. If you lose two, you go to the losers bracket. 1-1, you play a third game, and if you win, you move on. And double elimination. So if you lose in the losers bracket, then you're out. So this is my first match. I'm playing against Vaeorra, and they are also running an Ixtic deck. The only difference is theirs is mixed. You can see Smilden is there, Tribeless. I think I have an advantage in this matchup because of Enrahep. If I can get Recklessness on Ixtic, because we both have Alav, which means there's going to be a lot of attacks going each combat, because every attack is reduced by 5, which means Recklessness is going to get more and more value. So that's why I think I'm a bit of a favorite here. And they also don't have Zelf to jump the back line. I do, but they do have Smilden as a defender. But anyways, I've already played this matchup. I'm deciding to switch up how I record. Instead of just having my audio during the match, I'm actually going to do a post-game analysis. So that's what we're going to do here. I have the recording of the match here, and we're going to go through it together, and I'm going to analyze my gameplay, and we're going to see how well I think I played in hindsight, and we'll see how the match goes. So we're starting, we are going second. So the nice thing is, I'll just go back and show that. The nice thing in these tournaments now is we're doing second player gets attack mulligan. So you get to choose which of your 2 starting attacks you want to discard. So obviously I'm keeping my Brave Glint, and I'm getting rid of my 0 cost there. And the location is Carnival Confusion. The nice thing about Ixtic and the way I've built my attack deck is I only have either Discipline attacks or Earth attacks. I think it's mostly Earth attacks. And Ixtic has air. And the way Carnival of Confusion works, if you lose air, you're gaining Earth. So Carnival of Confusion actually helps us. Now it also helps them. Also on the same deck, but at least it doesn't hurt us. And then, so they're going first. They can't jump our back line. They have no Zelf. So they just got to decide where they want to attack. And in case you're unfamiliar with this deck, Vaeorra is not going to want to attack into Zelf, even though it looks like, oh, it's a free support, right? I have Bronze Flight on Renan, which means if an opponent's creature has range, Renan gains Defender. But that's only to protect either Alav or Enrahep if they jump the back line. I'd rather lose Renan than either of these. But the reason they don't go into Zelf is because how Enrahep works is if one of your creatures dies, any Muju counters they have, Enrahep gains. So if Vaeorra goes, attacks Zelf, kills Zelf, well now Enrahep has 4 Muju counters instead of 1. And he doesn't care about Zelf that much because he has a defender. So he's not worried about the range. So there's no reason to go into Zelf and give basically free Recklessness counters to me. Especially when it's key. The Recklessness counters are key in this matchup. So I'm going to use Enrahep to put Recklessness on Ixtic. If Ixtic, this is only a good play though if Ixtic has War Beast Power Leash, which he has, because it gives your creature Recklessness 5. And Ixtic has Alav, which means if he's got a different gear on, and you're using Enrahep, it's not going to do anything because Alav reduces basically 5 Recklessness. But they already have Recklessness 5. So I'm putting this on top. They're going to have Recklessness 10, which because of Alav is going to be effectively Recklessness 5. So remember that if you're playing this deck. If they have Zerium or whatever gear on it, on Ixtic, don't use Enrahep unless you have more than one counter. So here they're using Armament Adagio to, they were targeting Zelf and Ixik. I'm just going to cast Song of Shelter to block this. I don't want to cast Song of Shelter on my Ixik because then it's going to block, these two are carnivores, these two Music are carnivores Keenings. That's going to block my future ability to play carnivores Keening. So I used it on Zelf and then they passed it through. So we get to keep our gear. Shriek Shock's going to deal 5 damage. Here, we're not using Ground and Grapple because they've got Recklessness 5. I think I have the advantage in this matchup. So I'm not too worried about using a strong attack. And also, they're also playing 0 BP attacks, right? This is another 0 PP attack. Look, they're doing no damage. There's no reason to play Grapple here. I might as well save it. There's literally no reason. So it's going to deal 15. Yeah, because we get plus 5 damage from our leash, and they reduce 5 with Alav, and then plus Carnival of Confusion gives plus 5 to all elemental attacks. See, another 0 PP. They know they're going to lose this combat. Or they're trying really, really poorly, and they're being forced to lose this combat. There's 2 options here. So Earth Pulse is going to deal 20. Yep. I could have even played Hurricane there, because we're safe. Might as well play the 0 BP. I'll probably play it next. But I think I should have played Hurricane there. And then if I draw another 0 BP, I get to play that. You know what I mean? Because I'm in such a good spot. Yeah, we're just passing through here. Another 0 BP. So they're going to have good attacks in the next combat, because I think they just played 5 0 BP attacks in a row. All right, let's see what location we get. That's great. We kicked. Okay, so Siltshaw's mine. I mean, it kind of helps both of us, but it kind of sucks because our Ground and Grapple won't deal 20. And it looks like they played all 0 BP discipline attacks. They might be on a discipline deck. And so they don't have as many, like they have all those 25 damage BPs, which becomes 20 because of Siltshaw's mine. I guess that kind of helps. I'm assuming they have leash on this Ixik, right? Because then they have plus 5 and then reduced by 5, so let's throw 25. And actually, Tafio bonus too, it can prevent that. So it's not bad. But I think the play here, and I think what I do, actually I know what I do is I attack with Zelf. And there's 2 reasons I do this. One is because I know he has Revita Flower. Now I get more counters on Renan, which I can use to cast more music, or Renan's ability heal 10. And Zelf, as I was saying before, Zelf dies, and Rahab gets 3 counters. And I was trying to say that Recklessness is a key, right? That I think it's a key to winning this matchup. So I want those 3 counters. Because this Ixik, as I was mentioning, you don't want to use just one Emrahep ability if Ixik doesn't have leash. And this Ixik doesn't have leash. So we need at least 2 of these to have any effect. And now we got 3. So this is good for them because Royal Impendian Academy reduces non-attack damage to 0, which means my inner hip counters are useless. But they don't know that I'm running Ground and Grapple because I haven't played it yet. So I see this and I think, okay, perfect. They're going to be caught off guard. Now I'm realizing I made a mistake here. So the reason I didn't use, I'll just go back a bit. Reason I didn't use Enrahep yet is because the Recklessness isn't going to deal any damage because of the location. But then I'm going to swap the location with Ground and Grapple. I'm thinking I made a mistake because, as you see, they're going to play Song of Shelter to block one of my counters. They probably wouldn't play Song of Shelter if I used my counters now because they're thinking, oh, look at the location, right? Look at the location. I don't need to play Song of Shelter because I'm not going to take any damage, thinking I made a mistake, and then I play Grapple to swap it. But I'm only saying that in hindsight because I know they don't have Aegis of Area, which can negate attacks. So actually, I think I played it correctly. Because if they were running Aegis, and I did it, let's say I committed all 3 counters, I play Grapple, they play Aegis negating my attack, well, now I can't swap the location, and I wasted all 3 counters. So I think I did play this correctly. And that's maybe, I actually don't remember. Maybe that's what I was thinking during the match. I hope so. Because I came to the same conclusion now, but I don't know. Yeah, so I played Grapple. I see, are they negating it? They're not. See, they didn't play Aegis, they just played Melody. So now I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm going to get rid of Royal Mepenian Academy. I have two more here. But I'll go to Hunter's Perimeter, and then I'll use my Enraheb counters. So I'm pretty sure that's what I do. I should put Hunter's Perimeter on top. Yeah, Academy. So third, second, and Hunter's Perimeter on top. Perfect. Swap. So even though they blocked my grapple, they only blocked the damage. I still get the ability, which is, I mean, I'd love for the damage to go through too, but that was the key. I'd rather he play that than something like Aegis and negate the ability, because see, now I can use my Enraheb counters. And you don't want to use all three in the same burst because one Song of Shelter blocks all three. So that's why I'm using one in passing. So the first one actually doesn't do anything because Alav again blocks Recklessness 5. Second one, okay, now they're on Recklessness 10, effectively Recklessness 5. Let's use a third one. So if they have Song of Shelter, which commonly Ixik does run, not all the time, but you can run it. So Song of Shelter, they block it, but this is actually also nice because if they have any Carnivore's Keenings, they can't use it now, like later in this combat. Because usually you want to use Carnivore's Keening when your creature's about to get knocked out, about to get coated. Now they can't do it because Ixik is untargetable. So that's, I remember feeling good about that. They had to make a trade there. Okay, this is another high damage attack. We're just going to Melody of Mirage this time. Good. See, they're losing 5 energy every attack. I'm feeling pretty good here. That should deal 20? 15. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because it's base 15. Plus 5 here and then lose 5. Another 25 BP attack. So, Aegis, usually you want to use it to negate something with a good ability because you also deal 0. But it's also fine when they're taking recklessness damage. Or if you have a really crappy attack hand. So in this case, we had both. A crappy attack hand and they're taking recklessness damage. So it was a good time to play it. And we're blocking a good attack. Cinnamon Storm Shield. Okay, they drew poorly. And we got Marksman. Perfect. So here, I would have thought they would sack Ytero to block that Marksman attack. Maybe they thought we were bluffing with it, like playing Marksman, we don't have the second Marksman in hand and making them waste Ytero, because now they're stuck with only Smilden, which is definitely a worse fighter than Ixik. But they also may have been thinking, well, I'm going to lose this combat anyways, may as well try and reset with Smilden. Because I also don't know their music hand, I don't know what they have. They were untargetable too, so maybe they knew for sure they would lose that combat. Which is fair. I think they would have even if they used Ytero, because I do have 2 Carnivores available. Oh, so here, wait, let me go back for a second. Here, so they play Gravel Grind, which lets them discard something or banish something in the graveyard. I run Tune of Zerium, which lets me sack a gear and bring a gear back from the graveyard. So seeing this, I thought I may as well play Tune of Zerium here, sack my Bronze Flight, and get my Revita Flower back before they banish Revita Flower from the graveyard. And it's only really, all it does is give me 1 extra counter, because I use a counter to play it, get Revita Flower, and that gives me 2 counters. So it's 1 extra counter, but I don't see either of my leashes getting destroyed, which also is a good use of Tune of Zerium. So I thought, well, it's basically an extra free 10 heal if I play this, because I have that extra counter. So may as well. And now I'm feeling good here. Yep, Spirit Gust. Hammer Dash. Earth Pulse should deal 20. Streak Strike. But I also got to be careful. They could be running 2 Carnivore's Keenings, and this location means no recklessness, so it's basically a free 60 energy. We have the same, but it's not fully over here. Okay, they got 1. I mean, we got a lot of energy. It's looking pretty good. Marksman, 30 damage. And we got a ground and grapple. So here it's high damage. So obviously I'm going to play it. It's their final fighter, but it's also nice if I can swap away from Academy because he's used Karn. So he's got Reckless as 10. Goes GG's. Yeah, so that was the end of match 1. And like I said, it's a best of 3. So we went right into it and went into match 2. So I'm going to analyze that next. Okay, so this is match 2 for round 1. We're going second here again. And like I said, we're a little favored in this matchup, so I was expecting to win this match again. And so let's see what happens here. Carnival Confusion first location. This is good for us because now we know we run more elemental attacks than they do. So I'm liking seeing this. They start off with armament again, so same thing as last time. Song of Shelter, not on your Ixik, off Zelf. And I think I didn't explain this last time, but I'm playing Song of Shelter. Oh, okay, wait. Let me just pause. I'm playing Song of Shelter using Alav's counter. Because then if they run into Zelf or I throw Zelf at them, I'm getting a 3rd counter on Enrahap instead of only 2. That's really the only reason. Okay, so here they were waiting for the Song of Shelter because now they're playing Carnivores on our Ixik. Now, the first Carnivores doesn't... Like, they're trying to play it offensively, right? So that we have Recklessness 10. The first one doesn't give us... Well, it does give us Recklessness 10, but Renan counters that. So right now, this is just a free 30 energy. So I'm assuming they're going to play another one. So yeah, Enrahap here. There's the second one. So they're giving us 60 energy for Rec 10. Now this is only worth if you think the combat is going to be more than 6 attacks, right? Because after 6 attacks, that Rec 10 negates the free 60 energy. So they're thinking it's going to be more than 6 attacks, which is fair. Like, we're healing a lot. It could be more than 6. But I'm honestly happy with this. I don't mind this at all. And I'm also thinking I have Grapple in my hand. If I can swap to... Well, I mean, one option is to just see if I can swap to Academy. The other option is to Carnivores him in retaliation, which I'm pretty sure is what I do. Because they don't have Renan. So I only need 1 Karn to give them Rec 10. And then they would have a total of Rec 15, right? Because they have Enrahap. Okay, so they're using Song of Shelter. So then I offensive Karn. So they're going to have Rec 10. So we're both going to have Rec 10. Except the difference is I have 60 free energy. And they only get 30. See? And then plus we have 1 extra Conjurer. So that's the extra 5 difference in energy you see there. Yeah, so they have Rec 15 because of the leash, but they're only taking 10 effectively. So, and then I think here I'm thinking I have the extra energy. I have Carnival. No need to play Grapple right now. Because I think I'm ahead of here. I think I'm ahead of him. Fearless Strike, that's fine. See, like, he has a lot of discipline attacks. He doesn't get the bonus from Carnival like I do. Hammer Dash. Well, that gets the bonus. Now we play Grapple because we have trash attacks. I'm assuming a Melody Mirage. Yep. So here I decide to Aegis because I like this location. I don't need to change it. And Aegis is nice when they Melody your own attack because now you're basically negating their next attack. Alright, their next attack does 0. Not negating it, sorry. It just does 0. So let's play Spirit Gust. Now my attack hand sucks. I think I play Marksman here. So I'm trying to. Okay, he didn't go for it. But I'm playing marksman not just because my tech hand sucks, but also as kind of a bait because they may Yitero this. There's a chance they Yitero this. Obviously they didn't. But if I actually had marksman, this would deal 35 damage, right? Because I have bonus here, and then they only reduce 5 of them. I'm also doing it right now because my tech hand sucks. So I didn't want to play Velocity's Trap for 0 or Spirit Gust for 5. So I decided to try and bait with this. And this still does 5 damage. Didn't do anything, but that's fine. They didn't bait it. Or they didn't fall for the bait. Sediment Storm Shield. So they have a weak attack hand. Now I'm feeling good with the Brave Glint. I think they sacked to block this one. I still have my Melody of Mirage. And I have 20 healing on Renan. Watch this. Need to draw something decent. I will take it. Should deal 20. Yep. Now they die off this recklessness. So then here, this is marksman. Now they could be baiting with this, but I gotta save. I want to save my Ixik anyways. And honestly, I didn't think they were baiting with this. It has 30 base damage, right? Plus 5 plus leash. So 35. Plus the location makes it 40. Plus Tafiel when you're discarding your marksman to play the other one. So this actually becomes 45 damage because it's technically the other one's in the graveyard. So I'm only reducing by 5, which means I'm about to take 40 damage. So I either use both run encounters to heal or just use one to play carnivores, which I thought made more sense. Because I'm realizing one heal is not going to be enough. Yeah, there's a card. I pass this through. And then when Ixik dies right away, I was like, wait, don't you have to discard? Then I realized I got baited. So they successfully did what I tried to do, which was bait something out with marksman. He baited out my carnivores. I didn't need to use it. But I had to also believe that it was real if I wanted to save my Ixik. So it was a smart play by them. Okay, they're just moving around. The Sword Brawn. This doesn't really do anything for us because Ixik also has 90 courage. This is in the deck to try and counter, like, if I wanted to play into, like, a Rothar's and Discipline Burn, shuts down their attack. Also, outside of, like, Avena or Tartarek in a Wise Guys deck, or Avena. Actually, Avena has less than 90 courage, but she's got the support ability, so usually she has 90 or more. But if I'm, for example, like Akatosh with Geigen, it's good into that. So here I'm throwing Zelf at Ixik because I figure, okay, it's a whatever location. Like, it doesn't help us, it doesn't help them. Let's just get a couple more counters up. And I'm also using Tune of Zerium just to get more counters on Renan, just more healing counters. That's it. And I don't mind committing Flower to Renan because if Renan dies, those counters just go into end rehab anyways. So it's fine. And yeah, I don't care about Gravel Grind there because I already used my Tune of Zerium. Just throwing away 0 BPs. I think this just sets me up better for the next Ixik v Ixik. Because I have 4 healing counters. Oh, and they're going for Tune of Zerium. This I think was a smart play. Because their Zerium armor doesn't really help into Ixik. Like, it blocks my ground and grapple from doing 30 instead of 20. Or it does doing 20 instead of 30. And it makes Brave Glint deal 20 instead of 25. But that's it. Leash is definitely better for them. So here, Runic Grove doesn't really help either of us. They got Brave Glint. Hammer Dash. Get those healing counters. So another Brave Glint, and I think here I'm realizing they drew really well. And that's a single Ixik. I think I'm just gonna let them win this combat. And then my Ixik will also be by itself. Because remember, the Ixiks make everybody else lose 10 energy. So when I'm down to one Ixik, he's got more energy than when I have two, right? By 10. So I say, okay, fine. You drew well. I'm not going to commit to this combat. I'm just going to win the next one. Then I'm thinking he's going to move Alav up here. Okay, wait. Let's do the combat first and then after the combat. So here I'm like, okay, it's Smilden. I probably don't need grapple. Let's see what attacks he plays. Gravel grind. Yeah, there's no... He doesn't have the Alav bonus. He's got a lot less energy. I think it's a waste to play grapple. So. And look, yeah, okay, I've won this combat. It doesn't really matter what I do here. I don't think he has Bodil's Arsenal or something like Momark's Castle to bring stuff back. And he's already played two Nazarium. Shriek Shock. I could have played Earthshape there. Don't really need it. But actually, the fact I didn't play Earthshape was smart. Okay. I move Alav here. He takes it out. Renan was here. Okay, I don't know. I think I played it right. Okay, anyways, here, I'm like, let me just get rid of Earthshape. They play Sediment Storm Shield. They get Earth Pulse. I'm like, okay, wait, I actually did damage. Look, Grounding Grapple, there's 30 damage. He has nothing, right? He's got no resources left. I can just take out his Alav with my Renan. So it's actually really funny that I didn't play Earthshape before. It actually worked out here. Because then I realized this. I'm like, oh shit, I can just take out Alav right now. Which was not my initial plan. I actually didn't think of this. I wish I could say, yeah, I kept Earthshape on purpose. No, this actually accidentally happened. And I'm like, oh, perfect. And I had a crazy draw into another grapple, but I'm like, perfect. So then here, I think about what locations I want on my turn. What did I end up doing? Carnival's probably the best. So I want Carnival. Not on top, though. I put it third. Oh, I put it third, revealed this. It's basically next combat anyways, because Hunter's Perimeter into Carnival. But I thought that was smart because if he doesn't move back, well then combat starts, Hunter's Perimeter triggers, and I get Carnival. If he does move back, now I get Carnival on the following turn, right? Because this only changes the location if a combat starts. But anyways, he gets his own location, so it doesn't really matter. Except that I have Carnival, so I can get to it. Fearless Strike. Or sorry, not Carnival, I have Grapple, so I can get to Carnival. Yeah, that's definitely the best option out of these. Silchaw's probably being the worst. Or, I don't know, pretty equal. But Carnival's definitely better for me. Okay, he drew poorly, that helps. I'm also drawing poorly, though. Let's see. There's Alacritus Force. Let's get something. Okay, nice. Huge draw. Huge draw. And that is the match. GG's, man. So that was the second match of two. So I won the best of three. Oh, yeah, that's the end of the recording. They just conceded right after this. But yeah, that was second match. So it was close. Both matches were close, but you can see how the NREHAP really plays a factor in this matchup. And so yeah, this is best of three. So Vaeorra, they went to the losers bracket, and I moved on to the next round. So I'm gonna analyze those games and I will post that whenever I'm done with that.